because I think that everybody should do exactly what Birkin is doing. I'm sorry, what Hermès is doing. And we did this at the end of last year at the scalable side. It used to be we had our mastermind founders board. And if you applied and you qualified, you could get in. Now it doesn't work that way anymore. Now you have to first go through our operating system accelerator. We've got to work with you as a client for 12 weeks. We want to make sure that you're somebody that we can help, that you're, that Seth Godin has this quote, before I can work with you, I need to work with you. Right. And so that same kind of thing. Well, let's make sure that we both like each other. At the end, then if we both agree, you can receive an invitation.
Hey everybody, we are back with another episode of Business Lunch, and your co-hosts Ryan Deiss and myself, Roland Frazier. Good to be here. Good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you. I think you had something about one of our favorite brands, or at least our wives' favorite brands, that you wanted to talk about today.
Yes, this is kind of funny. So Hermès, or as some like to call it, Hermes. Hermès, the luxury brand that sells very expensive 30, 40, 50, as much as you want to spend $1,000 handbags and blankets and all other types of fashion. They're being sued for allegedly violating antitrust laws because, wait for it, they're making customers buy certain items before they're granted the privilege of buying the more desirable items, i.e. the Birkin bag. So for those who don't know, the Birkin bag is one of the most in-demand handbags out there. And if you think you can just saunter in to an Hermès, well, number one, you can't saunter at all. Security's probably going to stop you. They're probably going to make you wait in line. But even if you do get into the store and you ask, can I get one of those Hermès bags I've heard so much about? They're just going to laugh at you. You must make multiple purchases before you buy said bag. And so apparently they are now being sued. Because they say this violates antitrust. And I think it's funny. So from a couple perspectives, one, just get your general take on the merits of that kind of, I know you're not a practicing attorney anymore, but I would love to just get your general take. Because this is a federal class action lawsuit filed in San Francisco. So it's a class action lawsuit. People grumpy that Hermès won't just sell them a Birkin bag. I think there's a couple things. I want to get your take on that. I also think it's just worth discussing how valuable a brand is that they can do this kind of thing, where they say, like, no, we're not going to let you buy our most expensive deal. You have to jump through these other hoops first to even have the right to buy it. So just general thoughts, feelings, emotions. What do you think?
It'll be interesting to see. I should read the complaint before, to understand what the causes of action are, because there are lots and lots of causes of action. My guess is that it's going to be presented as an illegal tying arrangement, where you can't say, to buy this product, you have to buy these products as well, when those products could stand independent of the others. But it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, because if you go into the store and say, I'm interested in this, they're like, we only have a limited number of those and we make those available to our best customers. Is that antitrust? Is that anti-competitive? Does that, I don't think it is, because you're talking about branded products. They're not tying them to other brands. It's all within the same brand. So, and they're not stopping other people from selling handbags. Like if you sold a bottle and you said, basically, you can't get the water that's in this bottle without buying this cap and this container and using this label, that could be a tying issue, because what if I want to use my own colored cap and I want to put it in a canteen instead of the plastic? That's anti-competitive, because you're saying you don't get the thing that's inside unless you buy all of our stuff that's on the outside too. But they're not saying that. They're saying buy whatever you want to put in the handbag, buy whatever coats and plates and blankets you want. If you want our thing, you've got to be a customer that's at a certain level. and has spent a certain amount of money. It'll be interesting to see. Seems like a tough case without knowing more. And they're not price fixing. They're not, it's actually significantly less expensive to buy a Birkin in Hermès than it is to buy one on the secondary market. And you've got companies like Patek Philippe and all the luxury brands, AP, that do similar things, even Chanel, to kind of climb up the ladder to get the nicer, rarer stuff. So I think they're going to have a tough time doing it. And really, the secret, you can go and buy Hermès on your first visit with no appointment. You can walk in a store. I know because we've done it. And if you have a conversation with the people and create a relationship, and yes, spend some money, but maybe $5,000 to $7,000, then they'll sell you a bag. If they've got one, they will sell you a bag. It has happened multiple times to us in different Hermès stores in different countries. So I think there's a little bit of a myth as to how difficult it is, and I'm sure that Hermès doesn't hate having that myth that's out there. But the truth is that if you go in and you spend a little bit of money, then you can get that as well. And is that antitrust? Because is that stopping competition? I don't see it. Seems tough to me.
According to the lawsuit, so this is a quote from the lawsuit, these sales associates, so the lawsuit claims that the average customer can't just walk into an Hermès store, find a Birkin on display and buy it. Rather, customers that are deemed worthy, and this is the quotes, deemed worthy, will be shown a Birkin in a private room. Hermès sales associates are tasked with choosing customers that are qualified to buy Birkins, according to the lawsuit. And again, this is a quote from the lawsuit. These sales associates are directed by the defendants, i.e. Hermès, to only offer Birkin handbags to consumers who have established a sufficient purchase history or purchase profile with the defendants or defendants' ancillary products such as shoes, scarves, belts, jewelry, and home goods. So they're basically saying that it's unfair and, dare I say, illegal that they require you to make all of these other purchases and build up enough of a reputation before they'll sell you their most luxurious, most in-demand bag.
Which they only have a certain number of, right? Like very often they're not even on display,
And this is where, I hope this thing just gets thrown out. I mean, the idea that I don't want the government telling. I mean, it's one thing if the government says, "Hey, you can't discriminate. You can't not sell this bag to somebody, on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation."
Which I think already exists.
Exactly. We have laws for that. Those already exist. Got it. But this idea that you can't essentially establish a sales funnel in your business, I don't want the government what a terrible precedent this would be. The government, because now what's the government going to say? Well, if somebody wants it, you need to sell it to them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody? So we can't
What
sell
if I don't have it? What if I only have a few of them? Because literally there's limited production, right? So I only have a few. So can I not reward the people who are my best customers by giving them something and maybe the argument is, well, it's not defined well enough and therefore it ultimately is discriminatory, but that wouldn't be an antitrust claim. That'd be, I think it's a Title VII claim, right? That'd be a different kind of claim. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I agree with you. Bad precedent to have, but it sounds like some attorney tried to get, their wife or husband or partner a Birkin bag and got pissed that they couldn't.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think somebody wanted one. And my guess is they sauntered in like a freaking prick. Like the kind of person who's going to put forth this lawsuit is the same kind of arrogant asshole that's going to just saunter into a place and be like, "Hey, everybody, you're welcome. I'm here. I have arrived and I demand to see your most expensive Birkin bags because as you can tell, I'm a person of distinguishing taste and I have much money to spend and it's important that you know that." That freaking clown is the same person who's going to be like, "I'm going to sue you if you won't sell me this bag."
And we have those in our business too. We get people
same
like
archetype.
that. And we don't sell them anything. They're like,
and they're
no.
so I'm saying they're exactly who you want to keep from walking around. And I think this is the piece that every business owner needs to keep in mind. The value of something is so often dictated by who doesn't get to own it, right? It's like masterminds and the values is oftentimes determined by who's not allowed in the room. Now, again, if you're doing this on the base of race, gender, sexual orientation, that's bad. So let's take that off the table. I'm not talking about that. But to say that we're going to apply standards in our business is kind of one of an essence of a brand. Like it needs to be people who align with our values. Mm-hmm. And maybe what they want to say is, look, we want people who are serious about the brand. We don't want somebody who's just going to buy one to try to resell it because they don't care about the brand.
Which is exactly one of the things.
Exactly what's happening.
But the other thing to me there is why can't we reward people for being good customers and saying, you know what, if you're a good customer, we've got a thing that there aren't a lot of, and so we don't we can't sell them in mass. We don't, and we believe the quality would be less if we did. And so for the people who are great customers, we make these things available. It's our higher end line, and it's a simple ascension path.